You may not know it, but the first hour of your day is the invisible key that determines the rest of your 23 hours. It's not superstition. It's not an empty ritual. It's a spiritual truth, an invisible law that the soul recognizes even when the mind hesitates. Your beginning shapes your path. Think about it for a moment. When the world still sleeps, when daylight has not yet penetrated every window, there exists a fragile, sacred, mysterious space. A space where you can decide if your day will be ordinary or if it will bear the mark of eternity. For you see, your phone, every morning, connects before you even touch the screen. It searches for the signal, it anchors itself to the network, it synchronizes with a source greater than itself. And you, your soul, if it doesn't connect with the divine source, will spend its time chasing signals that are never enough. Listen carefully. Your heart is thirsty. Your thoughts are seeking refuge. Your emotions are seeking a rudder. And this is where the secret begins. When you offer the first minutes of your day to God, your entire day reorganizes itself. Close your eyes. Breathe. Imagine yourself on the threshold of this morning. You hold in your invisible hands a fragile offering, your hours. You don't know what they contain. There will be joys, challenges, faces, silences, interruptions. You can't control them all, but you can make a choice. You can say, Heavenly Father, this day is not mine, it is yours. I offer you my thoughts, my words, my encounters, my emotions. Close the doors that are not for me. Open those that bear your mark and walk with me. For without you, I am nothing, and suddenly, everything changes. You are no longer a slave to the unexpected. You become a servant of providence. You are no longer a prisoner of your emotions. You become a witness to peace. You are no longer dominated by fear. You are carried by the love that casts out all fear. What you don't always understand is that surrendering your day to God means surrendering your power to the one who never fails. And in this offering, there is an incomparable freedom. The world cries out, it all depends on you. Be strong, be efficient, be productive. But that voice is a crushing burden. God says, give me your day. Walk together, and I will transform even your mistakes into blessings. Isn't this a truth too great to ignore? Don't you feel deep down that you were created to begin in His light, not in the noise of screens? For here's the danger. If you don't take this sacred moment, the day will take possession of you. You won't guide your day. Your day will guide you. And this path is often an endless labyrinth. Stay attentive, because later, I'm going to take you even further. You'll understand why the first minutes of your morning are a silent prophecy, and how God transforms a simple prayer into a key that unlocks your destiny. Stay present, because what happens next is even more profound. There is an invisible law that we too often forget. What you sow at dawn, you will reap at sunset. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it destiny." The morning is precisely this invisible field where the unconscious takes charge of your day. If you let fear, fatigue, anxiety, or distraction be the first seed sown, your unconscious will feed on them, and all day long, you will reap fatigue, distraction, and fear. But if, first thing in the morning, you place your thoughts, your emotions, your plans in the hands of the Creator, then your unconscious becomes a temple, your heart becomes an altar, and your day an offering. Look at the architect. Before building a cathedral, he doesn't worry about the beauty of the stained glass windows or the height of the towers. He first considers what will never be seen, the foundations. For if the base is unstable, the most beautiful building will collapse. Your day is exactly the same. The foundations are laid in the first few minutes, and if your soul doesn't rest on the rock, on this presence that does not waver, then your walls will tremble as soon as the wind blows. Listen to this. When you say to God, "Lord, I offer you my day," you are doing more than praying. You are shifting the center of gravity of your existence. You are moving from a reactive mode to a prophetic one. For many live in reaction, they react to emails, notifications, crises, the moods of others. They are like leaves blown by the wind. But he who begins his day in prayer becomes like a tree. Its roots sink into the invisible, and when the storm comes, it is not uprooted. The Bible said it long before modern psychology. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3:6. It's a secret as old as time, but only those who dare to experience it taste the peace that surpasses all understanding. Imagine this. You're driving a car, but instead of holding the steering wheel, you close your eyes and say, "We'll see." This is how most people live. They begin their days without having handed the wheel over to the one who sees the whole road. But you, every morning, can hand the keys to the Creator, saying, "Lord, take the helm. I sit beside you, guide me, correct my path, and if I stray, bring me back." Then your day becomes more than a series of events. It becomes a prophetic path where every detour hides a divine intention. But be careful. Offering your day to God does not mean that the obstacles disappear. It means that the obstacles become masters. Every difficulty becomes a mirror, every setback an initiation, and every unforeseen event an invisible door to a divine encounter. For often what you call an interruption, God calls an invitation. You think your day was interrupted by an unforeseen event, but it is precisely in this unforeseen event that He wanted to use you. So understand, this is not just a morning prayer. It is a posture. It is a choice to say every day, "Lord, even my detours belong to you. Even my mistakes, take them and make them part of your plan." In the following, I'll take you even deeper. We'll explore the mystery of fear, emotions, and desires, how surrendering them to God transforms not only your day, but your entire destiny. Stay tuned, because what's coming is even more powerful and could rewrite the way you live every morning. Tell me, what governs you today? Your fears? Your emotions? Or your mind connected to the divine source? We live in a culture that glorifies emotions. We are told, follow your heart, do what you feel. But let me reveal to you a truth that few dare to hear. A heart not given to God becomes a cruel master. Your emotions can be like the ocean. One moment calm, the next a storm. If you let your moods guide your day, you will be tossed from one extreme to the other. But when, first thing in the morning, you say, "Lord, here are my joys, my anxieties, my anger, my desires. I do not want to be a slave to my emotions. I want you alone to be my rudder." Then your emotions, sanctified, become instruments. They no longer bind you, they reveal you. Think about fear, fear of rejection, fear of lack, fear of the future. It creeps in quietly. Sometimes in the first minutes of the day, a single memory, a single thought, and your whole being is inundated. But God didn't give you a spirit of fear. He gave you a spirit of power, love, and self-control. So when you begin your day by saying, "Lord, these are my fears, I lay them at your feet. I choose your love, which casts out all fear," then fear loses its power. It becomes a shadow that vanishes before the light. And what about your thoughts? Your mind is like a house with 1,000 windows. If you don't choose what comes in the morning, the world will flood it with noise. Every notification, every screen, every anxiety is an open window, and soon you find yourself overwhelmed. But if, at the first light, you say, "Lord, sanctify my thoughts. Grant me to meditate on what is true, noble, just, and pure," then your inner home becomes a sanctuary. And even if the noise knocks on the windows, it can no longer dwell within you. Now let us see an even greater secret, your desires. For your desires, not offered to God, become idols. You run after projects, ambitions, dreams that exhaust your soul. But in the morning, when you say, "Lord, these are my dreams," if they are not yours, destroy them. If they are yours, multiply them. Then your ambitions cease to be chains. They become missions, and it is no longer you who pursue your dreams. It is your dreams that pursue you, because they were born of His will. But understand this, the greatest act of the morning is not to offer it your emotions, your thoughts, or your plans. The greatest act is to offer it your will, and this is where the most difficult battle is fought. For to say, "Thy will be done, not mine," is to crucify the ego, break the crown of your pride, lay down the weapons of your control. But it is there, in this surrender, that true freedom resides. There, you are no longer a prisoner of your desires. There, you enter the river of the divine plan. a current that takes you further than anything you could have imagined. Remember this: the morning is not a formality, it is a battle. Either you surrender your day to your ego, or you offer it to your Creator. And depending on this choice, your next 23 hours will not be the same. In the following, we will delve into the mystery of divine providence, how God uses even your interruptions, your mistakes, and your pain to transform your day into a living testimony. Prepare yourself, because what comes next is the final revelation, the one that can completely change your relationship with time and destiny. Do you know why so many people end their days exhausted, empty, frustrated? Because they've spent hours chasing their own plans instead of walking in the divine plan. But listen carefully. God wastes nothing. Even what seems useless, painful, or chaotic, He transforms. When you offer your day to Him at sunrise, He takes it all, your failures, your delays, your mistakes, your missed appointments, and He weaves it all into a tapestry that you, with your limited vision, cannot yet see. Every interruption becomes a divine encounter. Every detour becomes an invisible lesson. Every silence becomes a heavenly word. You sometimes think your day is ruined because a plan failed, because someone didn't react as you expected, because something slipped through your fingers. But in reality, it may have been God's hand that protected you from a dangerous path, or diverted you to bring you into contact with a soul who needed you. What you call unforeseen. Heaven calls a rendezvous. This is why offering your day at dawn is not just a beautiful spiritual habit. It is a prophetic act. You are declaring to the universe, my day does not belong to me. It belongs to the one who saw my beginning and already sees my eternity. And understand this. This act of offering is not to earn God's love. You already have it through Christ. No, this act is to realign your heart so that you may enter each morning into the awareness that you are not alone, that you are not walking in a desert, but in a secret garden where each step is accompanied. For when you begin your day in His presence, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You become a witness to His providence, and then, every hour, even the darkest, becomes the bearer of a hidden light. So let me say this to you forcefully. Tomorrow morning, don't open your phone first. Don't listen first to the voices of the world. Don't let notifications write your destiny. Above all, close your eyes, breathe, and say, Lord, this day is yours. My hours are yours. Guide me. Use me. And let everything that happens serve your glory. You will see. This simple act triggers a silent transformation. And what seemed impossible is accomplished. Closed, doors open, burdens become light, and even if chaos strikes, your soul remains anchored